Nigerian People's Party has retained its hold as the ruling party in Kano State as the Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. Yusuf, who contested under the NNPP, was declared winner by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), but the All Progressive Congress challenged his victory in court. According to a 5-member panel of the Supreme Court, it is said that Governor Yusuf, the new Nigerian People's Party NNPP candidate as governor, was wrongly dismissed by the tribunal and the Court of Appeal. After hearing the appeals on December 21, 2023, the court has deferred its decision. Yusuf was removed from office as state governor in September by the Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal. Voter registration forms for Yusuf were not legally stamped, signed, and dated, so the tribunal subtracted 165,663 votes from the total of 1,019,602 votes reported. The tribunal then declared Yusuf Gawuna of the All Progressive Congress as winner of the vote. The Supreme Court, however, reversed their decision and declared Abba Yusuf the winner of the election. Over to Plateau State, the Supreme Court on Friday reinstated Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State, whose election was nullified by the Court of Appeal. The Apex Court, in a unanimous decision by a 5-member panel of justices, vacated the judgment of the Appellate Court, which sacked Mutfwang of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and declared the candidate of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Mr. Netanwe Goshwe, as the valid winner of the governorship election that was held in the state on March 18, 2023. The court upheld the return of Mutfwang as the winner of the election. It held that it was not in dispute that Governor Mutfwang was sponsored for the election by his political party, adding that the validity of his nomination was not a ground that could be challenged at an election petition tribunal. In the lead judgment that was delivered by Justice Emmanuel Agim, the panel held that the appellate court lacked the jurisdiction to determine the validity or otherwise of the primary election that produced Mutfwang as candidate in the election. It held that the issue of Mutfwang's nomination has become statute barred since the 21 days allowed for his candidature to be challenged at the High Court have since elapsed. Besides, the Supreme Court, which held that the Appellate Court made a fundamental error, held that the APC and its candidate lacked the local standing to challenge Mutfwang's candidature. It held that under Section 84, Subsection 18 of the Electoral Act 2002, only PDP members that participated in its primary election could challenge the outcome in court, not by another political party. The whole case is a thorough abuse of court process, the Apex Court held. The legal profession should wake up or it will render itself irrelevant in the eyes of the people with this type of judgment from the appeal court, Justice Agim warned. Over to Zamfara State. The election of Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has been affirmed by the Supreme Court. On Friday, the appellate court overturned the ruling from the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal on November 16, 2023, which deemed the state's March 18th gubernatorial election to be meaningless. The People's Democratic Party candidate Lawal was pronounced the legitimate victor of the gubernatorial campaign by the Independent National Electoral Commission on the basis that he received the majority of the valid votes. In the lead judgment that was delivered by Justice Emmanuel Agim, the Apex Court described the verdict of the Appellate Court as perverse. It restored the earlier decision of the Zamfara State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal, which affirmed Lawal's election victory. However, in its judgment on Friday, the Supreme Court vacated the Court of Appeal decision for being perverse and against the weight of evidence. In Lagos, the Supreme Court has again affirmed the election of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. The Apex Court dismissed the appeal filed by Mr. Azeez Adediran, aka Jando, of the People's Democratic Party against the Court of Appeal's verdict, which earlier upheld Sanwo-Olu's election. According to reports, the Apex Court earlier on Friday upheld the election of Sanwo-Olu of the All Progressive Congress (APC) against the appeal filed by the Labour Party candidate in the March 18th governorship election. Gbadebo wrote, Viva. Justice Adam Jauro, who read the lead judgment, said the appeal has no iota of merit and was accordingly dismissed. In Ebonyi State, the Supreme Court on Friday upheld the election of Francis Nwifuru as the governor of Ebonyi State. Justice Tijani Abubakar, who delivered the judgment, dismissed the appeal by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Chukwuma Odi. Justice Abubakar described the appeal as lacking in merit. The Court of Appeal in Lagos had earlier affirmed the election of Nwifuru as the duly elected governor of Ebonyi State. In an unanimous decision, the three-member panel led by Justice Jumai Sankey dismissed the appeal filed by Chukwuma Odi of the PDP. The panel also resolved all 5 issues raised against the appellant and dismissed the appeal for lacking merit. Justice Sankey held that the PDP and its candidates lacked the legal right to meddle in the internal affairs of the APC as it relates to the nomination of candidates. The Ebonyi Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja had also upheld the election of Nwifuru as governor. INEC had declared Nwifuru of the APC as the winner of the 18th March governorship election in the state. In Bauchi, Bala Mohammed's election as governor of Bauchi State has been upheld by the Supreme Court. Sadiq Abubakar of the All Progressives Congress, candidate for governor of the state, attempted to remove Mohammed from office in 2 lower courts, but his attempts were unsuccessful. Abubakar had claimed in both courts that there had been widespread violations of the Electoral Act during the voting. His appeal at the appellate court and petition at the tribunal were both denied due to lack of merit. The 2 courts held that he did not prove his allegations beyond a reasonable doubt. Reading the lead judgment on Friday, Justice Ibrahim Saulawa resolved all 6 issues against the appellant and held that the appeal was devoid of merit. Over to Kano. Now, the Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf has reacted to the Supreme Court verdict that reversed the judgment of the tribunal and appeal court sacking him. Speaking with newsmen after the judgment at the venue of the Apex Court on Friday in Abuja, the governor expressed delight at the Supreme Court verdict. According to him, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, admitted that the controversial 165,616 ballot papers were issued by them. I am extremely happy with the judgment of the Supreme Court that took place today, January 12, 2024. I feel extremely happy. As you can see, so many people are happy and cheering, he stated. In his ruling, the Supreme Court restored Yusuf's votes that were cancelled by the Court of Appeal and the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal on the basis that the ballot papers were not signed. Justice John Okoro, who read the lead judgment, said the Court of Appeal was wrong in affirming the decision of the tribunal, which held that Yusuf did not win the majority of lawful votes cast in the governorship election of March 18, 2023. In the judgment, Justice Okoro ruled that the tribunal was wrong in deducting 165,616 votes accrued to Yusuf in the election because the ballot papers were not signed and stamped by officials of INEC. The Supreme Court has confirmed that there is no illegality as far as the election is concerned. They were saying illegal ballot papers. The Independent National Electoral Commission has confirmed that the ballot papers belong to them. They were issued by them. Governor Yusuf said that I feel justified. I feel that the issue has been set aside because there was no justification whatsoever. Well, my good people, the first thing is to say a big thank you to everybody for all the support and prayers that have been rendered for the last 7 months of our administration. I just want to say a very big thank you to everybody, not only Kano State people, but the entire good people of Nigeria, as well as other people across the globe, he said.